Hello. Don't forget to like and subscribe before starting the video. Who is John Tyler? John Tyler is one of the least known presidents in United States history, despite serving as the 10th president from 1841 to 1845. He assumed office after the untimely death of his predecessor, William Henry Harrison, just 1 month into his term. This made Tyler the first vice president in U.S. history to take over the presidency due to the death of a president. Despite his unusual ascension to the presidency, Tyler was not well liked by many of his contemporaries. In fact, he was often called His Excellency because some felt that he was not a legitimate president. This was partly due to the fact that the U.S. Constitution at the time did not clearly state whether a vice president who assumed the presidency due to the death of a president should be considered a full-fledged president or merely an acting president. Furthermore, Tyler's detractors disliked him because of his staunch opposition to the Whig Party, which he had been elected under as vice president. He frequently vetoed Whig-sponsored legislation, including a bill to create a national bank, and instead pushed for policies that aligned with his own beliefs, such as states' rights and limited government. Despite these controversies, John Tyler's presidency was a significant chapter in U.S. history. His decision to annex Texas, for example, was a contentious move that set the stage for the Mexican-American War and helped to expand the United States. Additionally, Tyler's presidency coincided with major changes in American society, such as the rise of industrialization and the spread of westward expansion. Overall, while John Tyler may not be a household name, his presidency and unique path to power offer a fascinating glimpse into a pivotal moment in American history. John Tyler was born on March 29, 1790, in Charles City County, Virginia. His father, John Tyler Sr., was a wealthy plantation owner, and his mother, Mary Armistead Tyler, came from a prominent Virginia family. Tyler was one of 8 children and grew up in a comfortable, privileged environment. In 1807, at the age of 17, Tyler enrolled at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. He graduated from the college in 1809, at the top of his class, and decided to pursue a career in law. He studied under prominent Virginia lawyer and politician, Edmund Randolph, and was admitted to the bar in 1811. Shortly after being admitted to the bar, Tyler began his political career when he was elected to the Virginia House of Delegates. He served in the House from 1811 to 1816 and quickly made a name for himself as a skilled debater and a champion of states' rights. During his time in the Virginia House of Delegates, Tyler played an active role in the debate over the War of 1812, which pitted the United States against Great Britain. Tyler opposed the war and was a vocal critic of President James Madison's policies, which he felt were too aggressive and threatened individual liberties. Despite his opposition to the war, Tyler's political career continued to flourish. In 1816, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and quickly established himself as a leader of the Democratic-Republican Party. Tyler's tenure in the House was marked by his staunch advocacy for states' rights, limited government, and strict construction of the Constitution. Overall, John Tyler's early life and political career set the stage for his later successes and controversies as President of the United States. His experiences in the Virginia House of Delegates and the U.S. House of Representatives helped to shape his political philosophy and prepared him for the challenges he would face as a national leader. John Tyler's career in politics spanned several decades and included service in both the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate. In 1823, Tyler was first elected to the U.S. House of Representatives as a member of the Democratic-Republican Party. He represented Virginia's 23rd Congressional District and quickly established himself as a staunch advocate for states' rights and limited government. During his 6 years in the House, Tyler was a vocal critic of President John Quincy Adams and supported the candidacy of Andrew Jackson in the 1828 presidential election. In 1827, Tyler was elected to the U.S. Senate, again representing Virginia. He served in the Senate for 9 years and continued to be a champion of states' rights and strict construction of the Constitution. However, Tyler's opposition to President Andrew Jackson and his policies caused a rift with the Democratic Party, and in 1836, he resigned from the Senate. After leaving the Senate, Tyler remained active in politics and continued to advocate for his principles. He supported the creation of a third party, the Whig Party, which was formed in opposition to Jackson and his policies. In 1840, the Whig Party selected Tyler as their candidate for vice president, running alongside William Henry Harrison. The campaign was successful, and Tyler and Harrison won the election in a landslide. However, Harrison's presidency was short-lived. He became ill shortly after taking office and died just 1 month into his term, making Tyler the first vice president to assume the presidency due to the death of a president. Tyler's ascension to the presidency was controversial, and he was widely criticized for taking actions that were seen as contradictory to the Whig Party's platform. Overall, John Tyler's career in politics was marked by his unwavering commitment to states' rights and his willingness to stand up for his principles, even when they put him at odds with his own party. While his tenure as president was marked by controversy and opposition, Tyler's legacy as a champion of individual liberties and limited government continues to be felt to this day. John Tyler's presidency was marked by controversy and conflict with his own party, the Whigs. He became president in 1841, after the death of President William Henry Harrison, making him the first vice president to assume the presidency due to the death of a president. Tyler's presidency was tumultuous from the start, as he did not always support Whig policies and often vetoed bills supported by the party. This led to conflict with the Whig-controlled Congress and caused many Whigs to turn against him. One of the most contentious issues during Tyler's presidency was the establishment of a national bank. The Whigs were in favor of creating a national bank, but Tyler vetoed the bill, arguing that it violated states' rights in the Constitution. Tyler also faced criticism for his handling of foreign policy. In 1842, he negotiated the Webster-Ashburton Treaty with Great Britain, which settled a long-standing dispute over the boundary between Maine and Canada. However, many Americans were unhappy with the treaty, feeling that it favored Britain too much. One of Tyler's most controversial decisions as president was the signing of a treaty annexing Texas to the United States in 1844. This move was seen as controversial because it raised the issue of slavery and threatened to upset the delicate balance between slave and free states in the United States. The treaty was ultimately approved by the Senate and Texas was annexed in 1845, shortly after Tyler's term ended. Despite the controversies and conflicts that marked his presidency, Tyler did have some notable achievements. He signed a tariff bill in 1842 that helped to protect American industries and was an advocate for the expansion of the United States. Tyler also helped to resolve a border dispute between Maine and Canada and played a role in the negotiations of the Oregon Treaty, which established the border between the United States and Canada in the Pacific Northwest. Another significant aspect of Tyler's legacy is his role in expanding the United States. In 1844, Tyler signed a treaty annexing Texas to the United States. This move was controversial at the time, as it sparked tensions with Mexico and set the stage for the Mexican-American War. However, it also helped to expand the territory of the United States and laid the groundwork for future westward expansion. Despite these accomplishments, John Tyler's legacy is also controversial. He was a staunch supporter of slavery and secession, and his actions in support of the Confederacy have been widely criticized. Tyler's decision to support the Confederate cause and serve in the Confederate government have led some to question his loyalty to the United States. Despite these controversies, John Tyler remains an important figure in American history. His presidency marked a pivotal moment in the country's development, and his beliefs in states' rights and limited government continue to shape political discourse today. While his legacy may be complicated, his contributions to American history are undeniable. Tyler's presidency was marked by conflict with his own party and his controversial decision to annex Texas. However, he also made significant contributions to American history, including his beliefs in states' rights and limited government, which continue to be debated and discussed today. Tyler's later years were defined by his support for Southern secession and the Confederacy, which remain controversial and divisive issues. However, his legacy offers important insights into the political and social tensions that led to the Civil War and the challenges that faced the nation during this time. Overall, John Tyler's life and legacy remind us that history is often complex and multifaceted. While some aspects of his legacy may be controversial, his contributions to American history cannot be ignored. By examining his life and presidency, we can gain a deeper understanding of the challenges and opportunities that faced the nation during this pivotal moment in its history. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future.